Last year we had a few times where we only had 30 amp sites available to us. Now our fifth wheel is a 50 amp and with 2 AC units, and anybody that's ever had a 50 amp rig that has to step down to a 30 amp plug knows you can only run 1 AC at a time on that plug. Now Arkansas in August is not one of those places where you want to only run 1 AC. We did not have that luxury last year, but today I'm hoping to remedy that issue for the future. Welcome back, roadies. If you're new to our channel, my name is Kevin, and Dana's off with the Ava right now walking her, and today's video is all about the installation of the SoftStart RV components on both our air conditioners. So initially what the SoftStart RV component does is it actually reduces that initial power surge or that power draw when your compressor to your air conditioner kicks in. So we installed it on both of our AC units just for the fact, or we're going to install them on both our AC units just for the fact that we want to be able to choose which one we can run at any given time, along with the other household items that we can run as well. And should the other one kick on, hopefully it doesn't just blow the circuit or trip the breaker. Maybe the other one could still start while we're running our Instant Pot and maybe our coffee pot at the same time. We're going to do some more tests once we get this up and running, and probably do a follow-up video to this one, but that's the initial reason why we wanted the SoftStart and what the SoftStart actually does. It reduces that compressor draw at the very beginning until it's up and running. Now, I already knew that I had Coleman-Mach air conditioners on top of my fifth wheel, so I went ahead and selected Coleman on their web page. Now once I did that, it directed me to how I can actually find my model number. It directed me to the left side of the AC unit where I have to take off the AC run capacitor panel, and on the inside of that panel there will be like a yellow sticker with some black writing. Now all Coleman-Mach air conditioners start with the numbers 1976. The next three numbers are what you need because that is where your model is. So once I knew my three numbers, I went back downstairs, got in, sorry I have to turn that back on, it's messing me up. Got back on the web page, found my specific model from the list that were provided, and that's what gave me my instructions on how to crimp the connectors at the end of the wires. See, SoftStart RV does everything for you. They already have the wire strip with just a little bit of the outer shielding on it to protect the wires. All you got to do is pull that off, figure out your connections, and whatever the case may be. But what I did is I went a step further and went ahead and printed out my instructions because I wanted to have them ready available up top, because it's going to be in sunlight and it's going to be kind of hard to see my phone. So mine were 760, which you can also find them down here if you can't remember. I'm going to put this with my AC paperwork for my whole trailer paperwork. This will be with it. But if you notice on here, I don't know if, let me get in here. Right up here is the diagram for your SoftStart, and you can see all 5 of the wires coming out from below it, right? Well, above those, it'll say male, female, or female flag. And it'll give a corresponding color because all these wires that are leaving from the SoftStart diagram are all color coded. And you're going to have 5 different wires and they're all a different color. Now it'll say male, female, or female flag. Over here is your legend, and it shows you what they look like. So for me, all I had to do was match them up, get a good set of crimpers, and crimp it to the end. We just used the crimpers that came with our Pittsburgh tool set that we got from Harbor Freight before we ever hit the road. You want to make sure that you're probably going to have a screwdriver or a drill to take off your shroud up top. You're going to need some electrical tape. You're going to need your crimpers and maybe some splicing, because when you do get your bags, or when you get your SoftStart in, it's going to come with, I need to put that back on. When you get your SoftStart package in, it's going to come with a Ziploc like this, and if you see, it says for all RV models, or for all RV air conditioners. The reason why there's still so much left over, because I've already crimped my connectors to the ends of my SoftStarts already, is because they don't know which AC you're going to have. So they put everything in here depending on it, and it just goes out as one kit. So you're going to have some stuff left over because you may not use it. Another thing I want to add before we go and turn off the power is that if you don't feel comfortable doing this job, they actually have a support line or a support tech line. We'll put it in the description or we'll pop it up on the screen somewhere. And that's basically where you can call SoftStart and you can set up an appointment time to when, okay, you say you're going to install them on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Well, you can call that support line and say, hey, I'm going to install these at Sunday at 2 o'clock or whatever day it may be. And they will call you when you're getting ready to do your install, so you have somebody walking you through step by step, so you're not up there doing it alone. To me, it seemed pretty easy for me because this is going to tell you what connectors you need to crimp to the end, and then your instructions are down here. It's basically like 6 instructions for mine. Both of my ACs were identical, so my last 3 numbers on the front and back AC were 760, which means I had to use the same connectors on both. Everything was wired the same way. I set it up the same way. The only difference between these two ACs is one is a 13,500 up front, and this is a 15,000 BTU. So let's go ahead and turn off the power. Now I do things a little bit differently. Some people just turn off their breakers out at the pedestal. Now I do that as well, but I unplug the power cord from it. I turn off the main breaker to the RV as well as turning off both AC breakers as well. I want redundant steps in place because this is my life. I don't want to lose my life because someone just sees stuff that's disconnected and they obviously don't know I'm on top. Now, I don't think Dan is that dumb, but if anybody, I just how I want to do it. I want to make sure I have redundant safety steps in place, and that's how I do it. So let's go ahead and start that before we go up to the roof. So now we're back up on the top of the roof. I've already taken off the shroud as well as the AC run capacitor panel. Now earlier I said that the run capacitor was going to be on the right side if you're looking forward of the RV. I was wrong. It's actually on the left side. I don't know why I didn't remember that. So I've already taken the steps needed. I've already kind of like pre-placed where my soft start's going to go. I haven't connected yet because I got to clean all this stuff off, and I ran some wires already through the hole right here where the other ones were going. I had to remove this putty in order to do so. Right now I have it setting up on top to get a little more pliable, so the heat can get it more pliable. I'm trying to get everything in here. So now I'm just going to read the directions that I printed off, which is going to make it easier for me. So it says, step 1, follow white compressor wire from compressor to run capacitor. So right over here, see if I can angle this one over here. Right here is going to be your compressor. This is your run capacitor that is inside this area right here. And I also told you earlier you would need no more tools, but if you have the Coleman-Mach on top of the compressor, because you're going to have to remove that cap, and mine takes an 8mm socket in order to get this cap off, but that's a few steps ahead. So let's go ahead and do step 1, which was follow the white compressor wire from compressor to run capacitor, disconnect from terminal and connect it to the blue soft start. So we're going to come in here and we're going to look, and right in here you can see your run capacitor. On the very back is where the white, let's make sure this is the right, yep, that's the right one. We're going to unplug that. So we unplugged it, and we're going to plug that in. Sorry, I just spit. We're going to plug that in to the blue soft start wire. And it tells you to connect or to wrap that connection with electrical tape. We're going to do that at the end because I'm going to have several of them that we're going to have to do. So then it's going to say connect black soft start wire to the terminal that the white compressor was just on. So now I need to take the black wire and connect it to the very one that I just pulled off, which was the white one. So let's get some of these moved back so I have some room in here. And that is all the way in there now. Hopefully you can see it back there as well. Let me zoom in. Try to get this a little bit closer. I removed the white one from this terminal and I connected the black. So now we've already done 2 steps. Now it says to connect the yellow soft start wire on the terminal next to the red compressor wire on the Herm side of the run capacitor. So I don't know which one's the Herm side. So next two, I'm hoping this is going to be it. So I connected. I don't know if that's the Herm side. We're gonna see later on when we get out there. We're gonna see if that's where it needs to be. It does say no, if there is a second red wire next to the compressor wire on the Herm side of the run capacitor, disconnect it and wrap it with black tape or electrical tape, which we don't have. We only have one there right now. So we're gonna move on to the next step. Next step is remove the compressor cap and disconnect black wire and connect to red soft start. So we need to go ahead and take this off, and once again it takes an 8mm socket. I'm using a deep well. When you install it back, I don't think it gives you a torque. I think it's just going to be, you know, maybe a few inch-pounds. Let's put this down. So remove the cap, which I did. Disconnect the black wire. Oh, I don't want to shake it too much, but just to let you know, that one might be a little tight on there. So, and of course it has the female flag end on it as well. Connect it to the red soft start wire, which I did. And then it says to seal it with tape, which we're going to do at the end when we do all the other ones as well. Last but not least, connect brown soft start wire into the terminal that the black compressor wire was on. Route brown wire over into with the red wire. So if you see me looking around, it's because it is kind of windy up here. I have the other camera on top of my instructions. So we're going to connect this one to where the black one was just at. So that one's going to be like this. So I have Dan right now getting me a tool for this, because this one's hard to go back on. But right here, I don't know if you can see it. Right here is where we removed the black one, and now we're trying to install the brown one that I crimped on. I'm having a hard time getting this around this terminal, and I don't want to bend it and break that connection, because I don't want to have to do more work than I have to. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to bend it out a little bit, and hopefully that'll work. So that female flag end that's on the end of the brown wire was a little bit of a challenge to get back on the post, because it's not like the rest of the fittings. On the actual compressor, there's like a bar, and then it has to fit in between the two tangs of that. So after a little coaxing, I finally got it on there. It says secure all wires. I'm not taping up anything yet. I'm not securing any of the wires yet, because I want to go ahead and run. Dan, helps if you have two people now, because I'm gonna have him turn on the stuff. So you need to plug back in and turn the power back on. Don't forget to hit the AC breakers as well as the main breaker. So what we're doing right now to make sure we're getting power to the soft start RV component, so we have to set he needs to turn all my breakers back on for one, and then he's gonna have to set it to 55 degrees. And then we're going to see if the green light comes on. It can take up to 3 minutes for the green light to come on. If the green light comes on, that tells me that we have everything done that we need to do, and it's done right. And then all I'm going to do is tape up my connections and make sure everything's good to go from here on out. Yeah, obviously going to wrap my connections with tape, and then I'm going to button this up using the zip ties as well. If this works as planned, then all we got to do is tidy this one up and then go to the front. I'm not going to bore you with doing this twice. I'm just going to repeat the same steps that I did on the front AC as well. So while he's doing that, let's go ahead and show you. You can't really see the colors of them. It's so bright up here, but here is the brown wire. We connected it to the compressor right there. That's where the black wire was at, so I don't want to touch anything because I'm up here waiting for Dan to start this and make sure everything's good to go. We got the green lights. Everything's good to go. So that's pretty much it. We got our green light. Hopefully I picked it up on this camera over here. Now all I'm gonna do is tidy up everything, and then I'll come back and show you how I secured everything. So here you can see I put the compressor cap back on and secured it somewhat tightly. I went ahead and cleaned up some of the soft start wiring and zip tied it to existing wiring that was already in there. I used some alcohol to clean off the aluminum housing and secured the soft start with the adhesive back as well. Inside here where the run capacitor is at, I also just secured the soft start wiring to the existing wiring that was in there.
So Kevin confirmed that he had the green light on the soft start. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna plug it into the 50 amp and then we're gonna try it there. We'll do one air conditioner at a time. Let me first at least turn on the RV at the pedestal point with the 50 amp. Good, I heard the RV come on. Let's go inside and see if we can get those air conditioners running again. Okay, so we are on 50 amp now. The air conditioners did come on, and got the front one.
The rear one.
Or the rear one. Yes, the rear one. And the bedroom going at the same time. So that's great. That's what we're expecting with the soft start RV component system in there. But now, like Kevin said earlier, sometimes we only get 30 amp service. So let's go try it out with 30 amp service. Okay, so we know it works on 50 amp. Now let's actually try it with 30 amp. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the plug. We got our 50 amp going up there now. I am gonna go ahead, turn off that breaker, unplug. I am gonna plug our 30 amp in. Make sure that it's got a good ground. You can't see it in there, but yeah, I got 3 green bars. All right. I heard the electricity go on. Let's go inside and check to see what we've got. Okay. Yeah, if you want, we're gonna start off with the front air conditioner. We're gonna turn it on to the setting.
What are we gonna put on? Cool low?
Cool low.
Auto?
Auto. Here comes the front one. You can hear that. Kevin kicked on the second one. And that one just kicked on. So that's good. They're running on 30 amp off the pedestal, but sometimes we just want to boondock it. All we have is our Predator 3500 generator that we got from Harbor Freight. In fact, if you want to see our maintenance video, I'll put that up there. But let's go see if we can run not 1 but 2 air conditioners off that generator. Right now it shows us that we've got 124 volts. There's 0 amperage being levied on it, and the volts to amps is 0 as well. So that means there's nothing plugged into it. Let's go ahead and hook up our RV. So with the generator, you get a RV adapter. We're gonna go ahead and put that in. And now we're gonna plug in the generator, or the RV. Right away we noticed that it went down from 124 to 123. Let's take a look at the amperage. It's 5.6, 5.5, and the volt amperage is 664. That's for all you electrician geeks out there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and have Kevin turn on the air conditioner. Okay, so right now the front bedroom air conditioner is running, and this is what we're pulling. We're pulling 121 volts, 13.2 amps, no 18. Okay, here we go. The front one just came on. I mean the back one the back air conditioner came on. So we're stabilizing at about 22 amps. And 2,628 volts per amps. Is that with both air conditioners on? All right, perfect. We're still pulling in 120 volts, 22.7, 22.5 amps. And with both air conditioners running, we're running at 2,700 some odd voltage per amp. So that worked out great for us. If you got any value of this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. We'd love you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet, and hit that bell notification in case you want to know the next time we've got a great video like this coming out. So until then, where will the road take you?
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.